Welcome to Bears in Exile. Today is Monday, April 2nd, and this is the market overview, looking at everything that we look at every single night, and just to save a few more seconds for the video. All right. Well, today was not the Bears' friend, and the watching for carryover or bleed into the Monday, Tuesday time frame seems to be not going to happen. Which isn't to say that it's all bad, but we're going to take a look at everything really fast and see what signals we have. Well, starting off with the Dow, very strong, ending with a big spinning top today. It did peak out over the previous high, but it did not close at that level. So that's nice, but it also means that we have a new intraday high. So that's bullish. Short-term moving averages pointing up. Middle Bollinger Band trying to get a cross. We have new price consensus levels for the new month, and we are above the major price consensus for this month. And we just peaked above the upper price consensus for this month. If you leave the upper price consensus level, that is very bullish. And so peaking above it, not a good sign for the Bears, definitely a good sign for the Bulls. But it's not all roses. 14-day RSI moving average ticked down, not a good sign. Yes, it can turn back around, but it did tick down today. Stochastics are headed up along with the CCI. The RSI is ticking down, but the MACD histogram is ticking up, and the MACD itself is ticking up, looking for a bullish cross. And we are going into earnings season. Normally that's strong. Normally this month is strong, especially not in presidential years. But regardless, it is what it is. Even in presidential years, it's still mildly bullish. So going for a close above the previous top certainly would seem to be on the agenda. SPX, more than the Dow. And you can see that we also made a new intraday high but we did not close above the previous high. So at least there's that, closed right at it. And it's pushing on the upper Bollinger Band, and just by a hair closed above the new upper price consensus level for this month. Also bullish. So yeah, it's early. Does it look like it's going to push back the upper Bollinger Band? Certainly, it looks like it may want to do so. We were talking about the crimping of the Bollinger Bands, and that normally that produces a big move, and at the moment it would seem that that'll be to the upside, unfortunately for Bears. Uptick on the 14-day RSI moving average. The stochastics are still mixed. Up on the CCI, down on the RSI, up on the MACD, looking for a bullish cross, up on the MACD histogram. So there is some strength behind it. It's not perfect, but there is some strength behind it. Looking at the 60-minute time frame, I didn't do this on the Dow, but I will on SPX. We talked about the potential for a head and shoulders. I wasn't really too keen on the idea just because there wasn't much room in here to get a right shoulder that would fit. And unfortunately today, the head was broken, so that is gone. That whole deal is gone. 14-day RSI moving average still ticking up. Stochastics high attempting to roll over. CCI rolling over, pointing down. RSI trying to roll over, pointing down very high. MACD histogram sloping down. MACD itself up. This is the same as it looks on the Dow. So, can there be down from right here? Absolutely. Would it be muted because of the 14-day RSI moving average? Probably. So that is what that is. CompQ, the NASDAQ. Look at that. Bullish engulfing. Strong green green candle. 14-day RSI moving average ticking up. Stochastics mixed. Up on the CCI. Down on the RSI. kind of sideways on the MACD, the small edge up, very small edge up in the MACD histogram. 60-minute time frame, very similar to SPX. Slight move down on the histogram at the end of the day, down on the CCI. Stochastics very high, not really rolling over. CCI rolling over high, and 14-day RSI moving average, more room to move than SPX on the way up. And the VIX. And while it did move up today, it was mostly fell apart the rest of the day. Still closing higher than the previous close, so technically green, but red candle, almost a mix between a spinning top and a hanging man, fat body, of course. 14-day RSI moving average ticking up. Now that's kind of interesting because that flies in the face of what SPX and CompQ are telling us. So very interesting. Mixed on the stochastics, up on the CCI, up on the RSI, up on the MACD, up on the MACD histogram. It would appear that there's strength here. And it is butting into the long-term moving averages. That should be resistance, so maybe that's why this looks the way that it does today. But overall, not bad on the indicators. So that is very interesting. XOI. We called this out in the daily running thread early. While the market was going down, we noticed that oil was going up, and that doesn't make sense because when oil is bullish, the market is bullish. And sure enough, shortly thereafter, the market figured it out and said, "Oh, oil's going up. We need to go up." We got an uptick today. It was resolved intraday. We still have something of a bullish bar left, sucking the price back into itself. However, the 14-day RSI moving average is still ticking down. But then once you look at everything else, stochastics up, CCI up, RSI up, MACD histogram up, and even the MACD slight tick up. Does not look bad for oil at the moment. Yes, this bubble has been repaired, in which case we should be watching to see if it wants to go up or down from this point. But based upon the indicators, with the exception of the 14-day RSI moving average and the positioning of the long-term moving average bar, further up is likely, which would be good for the market. Which goes along with SPX, Dow, and CompQ, and goes against the VIX. So is the VIX lying again? It's possible. It's lied a lot in the last couple months. TNA. Oof. Another bullish engulfing. Good for the bulls, bad for the bears. Closing way above the major price consensus level for this month, the new month. 14-day RSI moving average ticking up. Stochastics mixed, up on the CCI, down on the RSI, up slightly on the MACD histogram, and sideways on the MACD itself. Not a bad looking chart. Going up for a retest of the previous high would be normal. So yeah, it's only $1.05 from here. It'll be very interesting to see what happens when that ceiling is tested. Notice the still crimping Bollinger Bands, and if we get a decisive move up, we know what direction it is. So, and 60-minute time frame. Notice there's no rollover like in the SPX or the Dow or CompQ. 14-day ticking up, stochastics holding high. Yes, CCI is rolling over. Yes, the RSI has ticked down slightly. Up on the histogram, different, and up on the MACD, strong. So not much to go. Not far to go for this previous high. Be very, very important what happens here. UUP. Look at that. Bearish engulfing, going back down to the 200-day moving average. Short-term moving average is pretty strong. A little bit of excessive separation. Middle Bollinger Band above everything. And we are below the major price consensus level. And where is Lower price consensus level. It's obscured. Oh, it's right there. Oof, that does not look good. 14-day RSI moving average ticking down, stochastics pointing down, CCI ticking up, RSI ticking down, MACD histogram ticking down, MACD ticking down, not attractive with the bearish engulfing, a break of the 200-day moving average. Very good for bears, not good for, I'm sorry, very good for bulls, not very good for bears at all, and could happen as early as tomorrow. Oof. FXE looking for confirmation. Fortunately, it is not a bullish engulfing, but it is above the upper price consensus level for the new month, bullish. 14-day RSI moving average ticking up. Stochastics trying to roll over, not really too strong. Down on the CCI, up on the RSI, up on the MACD, and slightly down on the MACD histogram. Much more mixed than UUP. And Apple. Wow. Big move today. Going back to test the previous peak, and like I was saying in the last video, you know, Apple has dippers, and here they are. 14-day RSI moving average ticking up. Stochastics appear to be attempting to turn around, but haven't done so yet. CCI ticking up, RSI ticking up, MACD ticking sideways, MACD histogram ticking up. Wow. Everyone believes that the sucker is going to $700. Maybe it will. But how they're going to just make it happen through sheer force of will? Certainly putting up a good show that they will. Far too early. And why not 60-minute time frame? Look at that. No pullback at the end of the day. 14-day turning around, stochastics high, CCI high, RSI ticking up, histogram up, MACD up. Wow. Very, very strong. GE looking for a read on the Dow. Closing with a doji star. Middle Bollinger Band getting above the short-term moving averages. That's kind of curious. Closing below the new major price consensus level. 14-day RSI moving average ticking up. Down on the CCI, down on the stochastics, down on the RSI, down on the histogram, down on the MACD, looking for a bearish cross. Very, very different picture than the Dow. Very curious. And moving on to XLF, the financials. Look at that, another stinking bullish engulfing. Maybe I shouldn't call it stinking bullish engulfing. But anyway, regardless. Closed above its major price consensus level for the new month. Kissed the upper price consensus level, backed away a little bit. And which also was a test of the previous recent high. Break of this will be very good for the markets. And 14-day RSI moving average ticking up. Stochastics seem to be wanting to roll back up. Not doing so yet. Up on the CTI, down on the RSI. Slightly down on the MACD, slightly down on the MACD histogram. Mixed picture, but overall not bad. Trying to turn these around. And VXX, just for fun. Ending with a hammer below the new major price consensus level. And we are, yep, we had our uptick fail today, didn't we? 1, 2, 3, 4, yes we did. Not a good sign. Down on the 14-day RSI moving average, stochastics appear to be trying to roll over, go back down. Sideways on the CCI, up on the RSI, up on the histogram, up on the MACD slightly. Very mixed signal, going back for a test of the previous low. It's very mixed. If it were to break the previous low, ugh. Anyways. Is there anything that I'm missing? GLD, the second VIX. And we had the VIX close in a higher position. We had the dollar go lower. And yep, gold is up. Going back possibly for, or likely for, a retest of the 200-day moving average at 164. Uptick on the 14-day RSI moving average. Stochastics rolling back to the upside, or at least attempting to. Up on the CCI, up on the RSI, up on the MACD. Getting a bullish cross. Up on the MACD histogram. Not too shabby. And SLV. Nice green candle. Still, where is... Oh, it's right there. Closing above the major price consensus level for the new month. 14-day RSI moving average leveling out. Stochastics up, CCI up, RSI up. MACD histogram up, MACD itself up, looking for a completion of the bullish cross. So that's nice. I like it when precious metals do well. And is there anything else that I'm missing? I think that's it. So, in the intraday time frame, we might have a little bit of weakness, but overall the daily looks pretty darn strong in the bull's favor. As always, all investing decisions are your own. Ooh. This chart and video are for entertainment, educational, and consumption of time purposes only. Thank you.